Before Badass Body Boss, I would be completely out of control on holiday. So if there's a buffet or all you can eat, I would just keep going, and there was no off switch whatsoever, and no ready awareness of what I was eating. I have a huge issue with fear of missing out. So if there's a buffet, I want to try literally every single food on the buffet, and I'll go back again and again, literally with no off switch, no control whatsoever. That's what I was concerned about, because this is the first time I've been away since starting the program. And I was concerned I'd fall back into those habits. But now I feel quite encouraged that I can go out, I can be in these situations and be comfortable around food, make good choices and not sabotage myself. So I feel very confident about that. And after the first couple of days into the holiday, when I realized it was going to go well, I relaxed quite a bit as I moved into it. So I was quite terrified at the start, but after a while I got a bit more relaxed about things. I was looking forward to the holiday, but I was quite concerned about the food because I was going to be eating in restaurants throughout, obviously no kitchen, no cooking, staying in hotels. The hotels would have a breakfast buffet, and that's always been an issue for me. When you have a buffet where there's unlimited food, there's no limits in what you can eat. Nothing to stop you taking what you feel like taking. And these buffets in the hotels are just enormous, literally every kind of food you can imagine. So the plan going in was to just try and make good choices. So try and have protein central to the meal, make sure there's some vegetables and salad with every meal. Try and limit refined carbs, so like white rice, bread. I did have those, but try and limit those. Try and limit sugar. So that was the idea going in. That was the plan, just to try and base everything on that kind of formula, but make sure I logged everything. So ensure that I logged and tracked and photographed everything I ate, which I was quite strict about. I think mostly it was according to plan. So if I had a day where I maybe ate a bit too much or had a dessert, then the day after I would try and compensate by moving more or having a salad day or a vegetable day. Some of the times the meals were sharing meals. There was one time where the host ordered some desserts to share, and I had no plan to have dessert, but it just seemed rude not to take part in sharing the desserts. And so I just felt it's the right thing to do. Let's have some dessert as well and enjoy it. And I can always compensate the next day. For those times, it didn't go as 100% to plan. But at the same time, I'd built in some flexibility in my thinking as well. I didn't want to be too strict, given it was a holiday. What I mean by built-in flexibility is that I had a plan for the 2 weeks, but I was willing to flex on that plan depending on the situation. So if there's a food that I really wanted to try, I would try it, but just try and eat in moderation. So for example, on the breakfast buffet, I managed to avoid the croissants every morning and have something healthier, but I really wanted to try the croissants because these are freshly baked. So one day I did have one. And so that's what I mean by flexibility. I wasn't going to be too rigid. And if I did something like having a croissant, I might have a lighter lunch or move more that day or the next day. Logging was important to me because it built in a self-accountability. So that was the idea behind the logging, is that if I logged it, I would get accurate data about what I had eaten compared to what I did on check-in. So having good data was really, really helpful, and something to reflect back on afterwards as well about what went well, what went less well. My advice for holiday eating was have a plan, log everything, so you have good data regardless of whether you overeat or not. You have the data to back it up and you reflect back on the data. Just try and make healthy choices, try and limit portions. And if you have to compensate with a bit more activity as well to compensate for the overeating, then try and do that as well. And I'm really enjoying the course. It's amazing. And I think what you and Rich are doing is fantastic. You should really be proud of your achievement. It's really good. And it's really working for me. I feel so much better.